We need to appreciate the Constitution of the Republic that allows people to gather, that they don't need permission from the police. Yeah, where the act before and the regulations that were enforcing, people needed to seek permission for that. But the court ruled against that. So people have got the right to just gather without asking for permission. So people must be surprised when they see people gathering and police seems not to be acting much. It's because they've got a constitutional right to just gather and do that. Of course, we encourage people giving us notices so that we plan in order to protect them as well. What we've been observing happening, we decided as management we're going to have a meeting with the leadership of these people that are doing this march on march. For one reason, just to remind them about the rights of others. Because they cannot just go and threaten foreigners, foreign nationals in the country, not knowing whether they are documented or not, number one. And number two, they don't have a responsibility as citizens to go and check whether are people documented, because they don't have skills to know whether the paper that the person is holding is legit or not. So we encourage them to monitor, observe where they get information, share that with us, and be able to tell us that we are aware that in that particular area, they are undocumented people. Please go and check. So we go and check that. If it's confirmed, then we'll be able to deport them. Otherwise, if we just go on a spree like they are doing and trying to intimidate people, the sad thing is going to happen one day is that someone's going to get hurt. And because you're going to come across someone who looks like me, and you're going to assume that he's a foreign national, not knowing that he's a South African. We've got brothers and sisters in this province, in this country, that look similar to the other brothers and sisters from other foreign countries. So you cannot just by the look of the face of a person and you assume that this is a foreigner. It might not be. That is one. And secondly, what becomes even more disturbing is that their march seems to target those that mostly are from the African origin. And they are not necessarily directing their anger towards other foreign nationals that are in the country. We've got the whole world here. But we don't see it on TV that there is this kind of march towards other nations.
So guys, from yesterday and today, I've been participating in the lives of some some immigrants, some of our brothers and sisters, immigrants here on TikTok. Guys, these guys are very offended by what is happening in South Africa, man. They're not happy, So they were hosting lives here. I've been participating on their lives, So I'm very disappointed by some South Africans, man, who are trying to justify this thing of Afrophobia. They are raising a lot of reasons leading to this thing, of which I think it's unnecessary, man, because it is not in dispute. These people, these immigrants, they are not in denial, that there are problems in South Africa. There are problems of illegal immigration in South Africa. And there are some illegal immigrants in South Africa. And there are wrong things that are done by these illegal immigrants in South Africa. No one is in denial, man. That one is not in dispute, So the only thing is, how do we solve that problem? The government is failing to solve the problem. The police, they are not helping. The Home Affairs is corrupt. People who are working at the border are corrupt. So how do we solve this thing as civilians? Because the way people are doing, these guys of March and March, this thing of going around chasing people, beating them up, is not a way, man. This violence is not going to solve this thing, because it's wrong. You cannot correct wrong with wrong, So I was condemning some of my fellow South Africans here for this violence, So these guys disappointed me, man. They just insulted me. They calling me names, saying I'm a Zimbabwean. Swearing at me, literally swearing, guys, calling me a traitor for saying all these things. Because on those platforms, we had a conversation, guys. It turned into a debate, man. So when I was participating there, I told some of these immigrants that, guys, there are wrong things that are done in South Africa, yes, and we do have a problem of government who is failing to do their job. These people do understand. They are not in denial, you know. But I assured them that not all of us are Afrophobic. Not all of us are for what March and March and all these people are doing, man. We are against this thing. So for saying that, I'm getting insulted by fellow South Africans, calling me a traitor. But I'm lucky, guys, because here on my platforms, both on YouTube and on TikTok, I've never seen, some people, some trollers on comment section insulting me here, calling me names, the way I was, treated that side. I have good people here. Shout out to you guys, all followers, the subscribers and the viewers. You guys are very good, man. Keep it up. I like it. You are people of rationality. You can reason. You know, some of the comments I receive here are sweet comments, man. I have good people here. I have luck, at least for now. So that side on life, man. Hey, these people, man, are nasty. These people are evil. Both women and men, the things they are spewing. These people have hatred, man. They were saying it live, telling these immigrants to go back to their country, saying South Africa is not Africa. Man, all these things that these people are saying. Displaying anger, a pure hatred, justifying these violence. Guys, I was very disappointed, man. Because this thing is wrong. So now, as we all know, guys, how these guys operate. Right now, this guy was punched here because this video trended. The world has viewed that video. So this guy was punched there. Now, these guys of March and some Afrofobs are saying, no, this guy was a South African who was trying to rob people. They are lying. We all now know, guys, that it is a lie, man. How can that guy rob people in front of the masses? People who are marching? It's a lie, man. So I understand because this is how they operate, these people. This is their modus operandi. All these supporters of March and March, the members, and even ordinary people who support what these people are doing. They operate on lies. They make baseless arguments. Guys, this is how they get away with this thing, man. That's why in camera, in corners, when they are cornered by the media or authorities, you will hear them saying, no, they are dealing with illegal immigrants. But on ground, what we are seeing is not a dealing of illegal immigrants. There is no distinction. The treatment is the same, guys. These people, they want to deal with all African immigrants. They want them out of this country. Some of them were saying it live. They were saying it, guys. Some of them typing, these trollers on comment section. saying it live that South Africa is not in Africa, you know, is not part of Africa. These people must go. Not saying undocumented, saying all must go. They want to fix their country. Guys, speaking as if South Africa is an island, you know, of which, guys, in addition, I like to Tlatlam Corners. He has commented about this thing, was interviewed by Newsroom Africa on television, saying these guys, what they are doing, they have no authority to do it. It is wrong. It will end it will end in hurting people. He's what I've been saying, man, that people are going to die. This thing will end up in death. People will get hurt. Already is happening. So Uba Umkonas has promised to, meet with these guys, Zabe Mash and Mash, all these leaders. Guys. But we all know, guys, these people, when they meet authorities, they speak good. They will be saying, no, they're dealing with illegal immigrants, of which you all know that practically so, on the ground, when they embark on these marches, they are violent, and they are dealing with all foreigners, guys. So I was very offended and disappointed, man, getting insulted by these people. I ended up retaliating, but it wasn't my intention, guys. I was just triggered. I couldn't handle this, take this provocation of these people. But otherwise, guys, I'm not a rude guy, man. I'm a man of principle. To me, wrong is wrong. It cannot be corrected with wrong. I'm getting emotional when I talk about this, man. Let me catch you on the next one. I'll see you guys. Sharp.